would be nice. Do you have a Pokemon?
I do. I have a Rowlet.
Oh. I hear those ones are very friendly.
She's very different from any other Pokemon I've ever met.
Oh. You two must have a special bond then.
I like to think so.
Are you a parenting trainer, a equals trainer, sibling trainer?
I don't think of myself as a trainer.
Well, I'm a bit more of a motherly trainer myself, although some trainers see them more as siblings or something else that I don't dare mention. I'm sorry. My mind kind of wanders a bit.
It's a dark place you went.
Let's go back to a bit lighter topic. Have you tried any of the snacks yet?
No. Sadly enough, I'm on a diet at this point.
I am too, but I afforded myself a small bit. Keep off the baby fat,
I do know.
At this point, the bell will ring, ding, and you guys will get to switch seats again. Now, Stephen, you are going to be sitting across from Annie, who appears to be the owner of that random Machop that Theta was trying to scan earlier. And Annie, you're gonna recognize Stephen as the guy that Cole ran over to, the Porygon that Cole ran over to.
The random purple Machop, might I add.
The random purple Machop, excuse me. Yes, the purple Machop.
Yeah. And as soon as does Annie see kind of Theta roaming around him?
I think Theta is just sitting at the table right next to Steven. Theta seems to recognize Cole.
She kind of holds Cole a little bit tighter, and she kind of says, "Oh, hi. I'm Anne.
I'm Steven.
What's your name? Sorry. Steven.
I'm Steven.
And you have the Pokemon with the light beamy thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry about. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It just gets it's just scanning people and Pokemon till it meets, just to get some information about them.
Oh, it just looked a little iffy to me. I'm not very tech savvy.
Yeah, it's okay. Not many people have seen the Porygon, so it's really nothing special. That's why I usually keep Theta in his Pokeball. It's really sometimes hard to keep an eye on him.
Okay, just so that I know that the light beamy thing wasn't about to.
No, it was nothing dangerous.
It's something.
No, nothing like that. It just wanted information, and those lights were just scanning it.
Oh, well, that's a little reassuring, I guess.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that.
You know how it gets. Protective mommy instincts,
Yeah, I think it's kind of reversed with me. It's Theta that keeps me in check.
Oh, well, Oh, what do you do for a living?
I work with computers, security business.
Oh.
That's part of why it's kind of helpful to have broken with you when you do that kind of business.
Oregon.
Yeah, I
Right,
check
good.
people's computers for any something holes in their securities, and if I find them, I fix them.
Oh. I might have to give you a call. I just upgraded from a flip phone to one of those smartphone things. I might need a little help with that.
Oh, I can do that. That's kind of that I get that kind of business as well.
Oh. Well, I'm actually a tattoo artist for a living. Bit more artistically minded, you know.
Yeah, I think Steven notices the tattoos on. You got kind of beautiful tattoos.
Oh, thank you. She kind of digs through her pack and brings out a card. This was the person that did my rose. If you're looking to get anything, and she kind of slides a card up to you, and it's a card from one of her colleagues that she works with.
Did you secretly scribble your phone number on the back of the card? Just out
No.
of curiosity? Oh, shucks. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. I don't know if I'm going to get a tattoo, but if I ever think about it, then it's good to have this.
Yeah. It can be a very intimidating process for a very first one.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah.
What kind of business is it with tattoos?
It's it's very rewarding work, you know, getting to know a person and their inner soul, if that makes sense, to bring that out onto the outside.
That's kind of similar with my sister.
Oh.
Though she doesn't work with tattoos, she's a psychologist.
Ah.
So I can see that kind of similarity with how you explain your work.
Yeah, it's art has been a passion of mine for a while. It's helped me through a lot of things. Very therapeutic.
I can understand that. Steven's mind wanders a little bit, thinking about own problems that he's had and check himself out of it. So, where did you get your Pokemon?
Oh, my Pokemon? He is actually my starter at Dumont Academy. It's
Okay.
why he's purple. It's a Academy variant. But I pulled him out over some disagreements with the way things were working there. He hasn't really thought
That's
that much in a while.
yes. I don't really fight with Data at all. Data's more like if anything, Data's was for me like tattoos were like art was to you. Data helped me through some trying times.
Yeah. We don't really fight that much anymore. But we used to. Now he's more of a domestic, you know. And she kind of strokes his head crest lovingly.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Sky. I'm 25. I like Netflix and chocolate.
You've got that down to a science.
Yeah, I practice.
You've been practicing. Okay.
I'm Charlie. I'm 30 and I like baking.
I see that. Are you the one that made the pastries?
Yes.
They looked lovely.
Thank you. I was not supposed to participate at first, but you know how sisters are.
Holy shit. Sorry.
You said that in character, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's perfectly fine. Riz has said worse than that, so that's fine.
All these sisters. Jeez.
She's a good egg, really, but I'm not someone that makes friends easily.
Well, I get that. So have you had any progress this evening?
I suppose. I'm not sure, but I think I made a friend.
Oh, good. Well, that's what this whole thing is about.
Yes. Do you have Pokemon? I haven't seen one around, so...
Yeah, I have a Rowlet, but it didn't seem like the kind of party where Pokemon were necessary, so he's in his ball.
Well, no matter what happens, Bug follows me everywhere, so...
Yeah, there's a pink bug Pokemon that's buzzing above him at the moment. He's not moving towards you, but he's at least buzzing above his head.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bugs.
Yeah, that's actually his name. Bug.
Charlie, I'm gonna say that you will notice that that Moxie seems a bit nervous as his eyes shift up towards Bug's direction. He seems anxious about Bug specifically.
Oh, Bug! And Charlie kind of gestures to the pocket in his apron. That's... So that...
Yeah. Bug then flies towards Charlie and towards Charlie's apron, and then he disappears into his pocket and goes into his Pokeball in his pocket.
That's a neat trick.
Yeah, he enjoys the pocket, so... Yeah, I definitely get where you're coming from with the nervousness, though.
Really?
Yes, really.
Doesn't seem to happen often.
No. I guess we all have our reasons.
You don't become afraid of Pokemon for no reason.
Yeah. Though, one thing I've realized going to culinary school is that eating the Pokemon doesn't make me less afraid of it.
You don't gain power?
Not really.
So did you hatch Bug?
I did, yes. It's a long story. A friend of mine had a breeding class. Turns out ended up having one too many eggs. Gave it to me, and out hatched Bug. I guess it was love at first sight.
Oh. So.
Yes.
You're about halfway through your 5 minutes, so
Cool.
you still have some time to kill.
All right. What do you do for a living?
I'm a baker. It's probably not surprising.
Is it successful, your business?
I'd like to think it is. It started in Alola, that's where I'm from. And we have some franchises around the cities in Kanto.
That's neat. Do I recognize the Busy Bee logo as something that was on that box?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Cool.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Do you guys
Fact-
deliver?
In fact, there's something, Mox, I'm going to say, now that you're taking a better look at Charlie, there's something really familiar about Charlie. Very familiar. And if you didn't know any better, you could have sworn you've seen his face before.
Do you have commercials?
We do, but I'm not the one. I'm not an actor. Definitely not.
You look familiar.
Well, my sister's over there. We're twins, so maybe.
You can glance over and see his sister, who's helping out at the cash register right now, selling some of the cakes. And it'll be at this point, I'll say, Moxie, that when you turn back to Charlie, the bell is going to ring. And then right when you guys are like switching around, you're like, oh, now I know where I saw this guy. This is the guy who was climbing out of the house, that was climbing out of Dr. Pine's house that day before he was found dead. This was the guy. You know for sure it's that guy in the rollerblades. It was that guy. So.
I knew it.
You guys are going to move your seats one final time, and you're going to talk to one final person. So we're going to start with Moxie again. Moxie, you're going to be sitting across. You're our one of the people had to leave early, and so maybe off the corner of your eye you see Keith Carmel talking to the person who was manning the pastry area. This girl with, it looks like a mechanical looking hand, and he's pointing over at the table, and the girl nods, and she comes to your direction, Moxie, and she sits herself across the table from you and gives you a relatively friendly smile, and she says, "Hey, so sorry, it seemed like somebody had to leave early, so I hope you don't mind, but I think I'm gonna take their place so I can chat with you for a bit, if that's okay,"
Oh,
the girl
sure.
says.
Yeah.
So Carolyn sits down, and she's pretty outgoing, so she jumps in immediately and holds out her hand and says, "Hi, I'm Carolyn."
Hi, I'm Sky.
Hi, Sky. So, let's see. Basically, I like music, I like Netflix, and I like chocolate.
What a coincidence. I also like Netflix and chocolate.
Well, to be fair, who doesn't, right?
True. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. So, how's it been going talking to all these people? Did you talk to my brother by any chance? She says, pointing over.
I believe so. You guys look very similar.
Yeah, you know, we're actually twins.
Oh,
Yeah, he and I, we're relatively close, and was just helping out with the business a little bit. My brother, he's I think that he could use some practice, you know, talking to new people, so I encouraged him to come.
Well, that's a worthy goal to be here.
Oh, I thought so. How about yourself? You met some interesting people?
Yeah, there are a couple.
A couple?
Mhm.
So, who do you who's the one that you found least interesting?
Least interesting?
Yeah, who do you think was least interesting?
I believe there was
You can
some
say my
guy
brother,
down
it's
at the
okay.
end.
Which guy down the end?
There's the guy down at the. You see the one picking his nose? That guy. He has like some fascination with like trinkets, and I couldn't keep my eyes open.
Oh, fair enough. Happy to hear it wasn't my brother. So, what do you do?
I am an entertainer.
Really? Whoa. So, hold on a second. What kind of entertainment are we talking here? Are we talking entertainment or entertainment?
Well, I definitely don't use a pole if that's what you're insinuating.
Okay, good. Not that there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I had a friend, she just got married. She had her bachelorette party, and it was fun. But fortunately, I didn't recognize you. So what do you actually do?
That is
Like you
bad.
said, you're into entertainment. So what kind of entertainer are you then if you're not, doing that?
Oh,
Are you a stage magician? Are you I don't know, do you dance? What do you do?
Oh, no, nothing like that. You wouldn't be able to see me anywhere. I'm pretty much backstage most of the time, helping out with like technical problems.
Oh, are you do you like follow a band? Are you a techie for a band?
Something like that.
What band?
Various bands.
Huh.
Depends on where they send me.
I've been listening to a few people lately, and she starts spouting out a few names, and then one of the last ones she says, and then this really neat upcoming band called FPF. They're really, really cool. I don't know if you ever heard of any of their stuff.
A couple songs.
A couple songs? Yeah, I would recommend like any of them, but FPF is probably the ones I'm really looking at right now.
Really? Well,
they've got this really interesting thing where they have bird Pokemon, which is a pretty interesting gimmick. I mean, I've seen better, but hey, their music is great. Their music is great.
Pokemon tend to be a crowd pleaser, so.
Me, I'm a Pokemon Ranger. I'm sort of one of the people who looks at the borders, make sure that we keep all the bad Pokemon out and the good Pokemon in. Hence this old thing. Well, not so old thing, he says as she holds up her mechanical hand.
Well, that's a dangerous job. I don't envy you.
It is. I was actually there when the war broke out 10 years ago, believe it or not. Sort of what happened to me here. Fortunately, I was able to get out, but no, it was pretty scary. It's pretty scary in there.
Why'd you want to be a ranger?
Well, good question. So the short answer is my family, something really tragic happened to my family. My other brother, younger brother, he was kidnapped. He was kidnapped by an illegal Pokemon. Yeah. And we never did find him. And I decided that I wanted to help make sure that that never happened again to somebody else's family. It was a long time ago. It was when we were really young. I mean, we've gotten over it since then. I mean, I'm sure that wherever my brother is now, hopefully he's at peace. Sorry, I didn't mean to get all deep on you in there. It's just you asked the question, and
No, you're right. I did.
you know,
I was
you asked the
curious.
question, and like I said, it's been a long time. I'm over what happened, so my brother, I think it still has affected him since then. But I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should just leave him be, or I feel like he sometimes needs a little bit of a help to, I don't know. He feels guilty, I think, in a way. I don't know how he could feel guilty about it, but I don't know.
For your brother's disappearance.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I did something with my life about it. Not that it helps my brother, my youngest brother, but I don't know. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to get all deep into that. But how about you? Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have an older sister who looks like she's right over on the other side. Red hair. Hard to
Oh,
miss.
her?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, she got a lot of donuts earlier.
Oh, I bet she did.
I'm gonna have
Go see her.
She looks over there and says, "She's cute."
She's full of life.
Well, she's a ginger, so I can see that. I'm sure your parents must be proud.
Oh, in their own way. She's a good kid. Sometimes. Most of the time.
At that point, the bell's gonna ring, and Carolyn's gonna look at your direction and says, "Well, it was nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you as well.
Well, hope you have a good rest of your night."
You as well.
Meanwhile, speaking of Madison, okay, Ronick, Madison is going to be sitting across from you, and so she sits down, and she's like I said, Madison. She's not dressed in a trampy sort of way, but the outfit that she's wearing does flatter her assets. So, and she does smell very good, not overpoweringly. Nothing that she has on is too much. It's just, you know, most of the people here are more casual. She is out looking like she's going clubbing, basically. And, you know, she sits down and she gives you a smile and she says, "Hi, my name is Madison. What's yours?"
Hi, I'm Steven.
Steven. She says as she holds out her hand.
Yeah, Steven takes it. Oh, I think I met a pet of yours.
Oh, you mean Moxie? You met Moxie?
Yeah, he was one of the first ones I actually talked to.
Oh, yeah. How did you guys hit it off?
Yeah, awkwardly.
Oh.
I'm not really good with people.
Oh, don't worry about it. Moxie, he sometimes has the same problems too. I figured that, you know, maybe taking him here would do him a little bit of good. And it turns out that he might have found some other people who might have had some, you know, common ground in that too.
Yeah, same. I'm actually kind of same reason why I'm here. Kind of doctor's orders to come here.
Doctor's orders? Oh, geez. What do
No,
you mean
not-
by that?
Nothing really serious. My sister is a doctor, so
Oh no! Do you have only 30 days to live and you're here to try to make some more friends before you die? Oh my gosh!
nothing like that. No. It's just she thought it was good for me to meet other people and talk to people. She's a
Oh,
psychologist, so
She laughs a bit. Well, if you ask me, that'd be a really great pickup line too. Like telling people, I've only got 30 days to live and I just want to squeeze out whatever happiness I can. Do you want to go out? I think that would be a really, really awesome way to
Okay.
pick up girls. At least it would work on me.
God. Yeah, maybe I'm not that smooth.
Which one's your sister?
Steve looks around. It's that one, that here girl there.
You're Dr. Pearl's brother? I know her. She and I, we know each other from. She stops for a moment. From a club. Yes, she and I, we know each other from a club.
Steven thinks about it, and Steven would know what kind of where she would have worked at. So
Yeah.
no need to worry about it. That's the same doctor that I was talking about.
Oh, well.
I know.
Well, this is
I know what kind of work she does.
She's very good at what she does, though. You must be very proud.
Well, yes, I am one of her patients as well.
Of course. I personally would find it a little weird, I guess, going to see one of my own siblings or family members for that matter, you know, even if it was for dental or anything like that, psychological. But hey, if you guys have that kind of relationship, then great. Like Moxie and
Yeah.
we're okay. We get along all right, but I don't think we were really ever that close.
Yeah, it's really, she's the closest family member I have. Was always really close to her.
Well, that's really sweet. You know, she's mentioned you a few times, but obviously didn't get into any of your personal business or nothing, but I always wondered about her brother, so it's so good to meet you in the flesh for a change.
It's, well, nice to meet you too.
She just never mentioned that you were so cute. Theta starts looking between the two of you.
Don't get any ideas.
Oh, so she finally turns to the Porygon. I noticed that you got yourself a Porygon.
Yes, it's my friend.
Those are really rare. I don't suppose you're into computers or anything, are you?
Well, I am into cybersecurity, so yes.
You're into cybersecurity? Oh
Yes.
my god! I do a bit of computer security stuff myself. Can I show you my Pokemon? It's actually a Rotom.
Really? That's really
Yeah.
interesting, of course.
Here, Timmy. She pulls out her Pokeball and opens it, and out pops up this. She takes out her. Well, actually, she doesn't take out her Pokeball. She takes out her laptop, and the laptop starts to float by itself, and you can see little eyes pop out from the laptop. And she says, "Timmy, meet Steven, and your Porygon's name is."
It's Theta.
Oh, that's so precious. Meet Steven and Theta. And the Rotom starts, looks at the two of you and says, "Greetings, Sir Steven and Sir Theta."
That's impressive.
Oh, thank you. It was a program that I came up with myself in order to help my Pokemon communicate with me. Have you ever worked with voice algorithms before?
I have dabbled in it. I'm trying to figure out some way to help Theta speak. As well, still working on it.
Well, I might be able to help you out if you want. It might be a really fun little exercise, if you're willing.
That would be helpful. Theta is pretty much, if anything, Theta keeps me working. He's kind of secretary to me.
Oh, I see. Theta and Rotim seem to be chatting with each other in their own language right now. And they seem to be in a very deep conversation. Madison notices this and says, "So, what else do you do for fun besides, your computer cybersecurity stuff?"
It's really... I don't really have anything. I'm pretty much it's work for me and some research in different kind of stuff.
What do you research?
That it's kind of weird. It goes mostly into occult.
Really? Well, that's sort of surprising. Tell me more.
There's been, well, many things. My family was really religious, and that kind of thing kind of stuck with me. So I've been, well, still trying to learn different kinds of things about the occult and gods and other things. It's really been. Steven's really trying to avoid really giving more information about what he really is researching.
Okay. And Madison will notice this and says, "Oh, it's all right. I didn't mean to get into your business or anything." And at this point, she's sort of like, friendly tapping on your hand at that. It says, "I didn't mean to get into your business. But I like playing video games. Do you like video games? Are you into RPGs? Are you into FPS shooters? Are you into puzzle games?"
It's between puzzle and RPGs.
Oh, I love puzzles and RPGs, especially the ones where you can actually romance some of the other characters. They feel so real sometimes. I don't know if you're into that, like romancy stuff.
I mostly don't do that, but it is occasionally quite nice.
I think it's good practice, if you find somebody that you're interested in real life, it might be a great way to, get yourself into that, at least in a virtual sense.
Maybe I have to think about that more.
It's at that point that the bell's gonna ring and Madison is going to say, it was really nice to meet you, Steven.
You too, Madison.
She'll stand up, and then as she walks by, she'll quickly, without you realizing, she'll give you a peck on the cheek. And then she'll walk off.
Oh, God.
She'll walk off, and Rotim and Theta are still talking to each other. They seem to be engrossed in their own conversation. They seem to have completely ignored the humans and are talking to each other. It almost looks like they're debating over something right now.
Theta.
Theta looks to yours direction, and he looks very upset that the 5 minutes is over.
Yeah. Don't worry. I think we could see if we could meet them again.
Theta gets really upset, and then Rotim and Theta do one more thing, and you can see that you from your computer knowledge see that there are lights beeping on the laptop, and that means there's some sort of information transfer happening between the two. I think your Pokemon just exchanged numbers. And then after they exchange numbers, they go off in their own. They go off with you. Meanwhile,
Well, you found. Well, Theta found a new friend.
Theta definitely found a new friend. Meanwhile, while this is also happening, we are going to have Nevi sitting with Charlie. So, Charlie, you're going to be sitting across from this, really, I would say, beautiful looking girl. She's in jeans and sort of like a sweater-like top. And she's going to sit down and she's going to probably be the first one to speak and say, "Did you make all of those awesome cakes?"
I did.
Oh man, those were the most amazing things I have ever tasted. You have a gift, sir.
Thank you. It's good to know people like my stuff. Means I'm going in the right direction.
My name is she holds out her hand and says, "The name's Ginevra, but you can call me Nevi."
He shakes her hand. I'm Charlie.
Hey Charlie, nice to meet you. So, what got you into baking?
Well, my aunt used to come over during the holidays, and we'd always make food together. I guess it kind of stayed.
Well, that's really nice. My family, we get together every now and then, but it's just one of those things that's more of a, I don't know, I guess it's alright sometimes.
I try to keep family up my values most of the time. Family is important for me.
If you say so. Okay. At least certain members, I guess, more than others. Certain ones more than others, I guess.
And what do you do for a living?
Yeah, see, that's complicated. So I'm kind of currently in the police academy right now. Between you and me, I kind of hate it. Because, my name's Ginevra, and since, I'm technically a Jenny, my family kind of expects me to do the whole police officer thing, even though that's not really what I want to do with my life. So I kind of feel kind of stuck, just trying to make my mom happy, I guess. Because if she's not happy, bad things happen. Believe me, I've already seen it happen numerous times, and it ain't pretty.
It's not really an interesting situation to be stuck in.
No, can't say.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's not your problem. No, if I had my way, I would want to be a Pokemon linguist. That's what I really would like to be.
That's interesting.
Really?
Yeah,
Most people don't say that when I tell them about it, or at least if they do, they normally don't really mean it. But I appreciate you being polite, at least.
No, really, I'm not into Pokemon in general, but could really make life easier for a lot of people.
I just feel like people might be able to understand them better by actually being able to communicate with them better. I mean, not to say that there aren't ways of communicating with them, but, the Pokemon language is really fascinating. I don't know, I just like words and analyzing language in general, and I don't know, I just thought specializing in Pokemon would be more interesting than, say, learning Kalos or learning Alolan languages,
Gives you a little bit much of a challenge, is it?
Yeah, it can be, because certain Pokemon speak in many different ways, and, depending on where the Pokemon are from, they might actually have... Did you know Pokemon actually have accents, too, depending on where they're from? And that just makes translating a lot harder.
Wow, that's accents. So, does it mean Pokemon from Kalos have a Kalosian accent?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, actually.
That would be interesting to... Well...
to us, human ears, it just sounds all the same to us, but no, if you really listen very carefully, the way that they say these individual words, there's sort of an accent to them in a way. And again, it just makes translating it a little bit more difficult.
That's really interesting.
Oh, thanks.
I took one breeding class, mostly to learn how to take care of an egg. But it was already way over my head.
Oh. It's alright. Raising Pokemon, hatching Pokemon, that's its own little specialization. Don't look at me, I don't think I'd be able to take care of Pokemon from birth either. Like, feeding them and taking care of them every single time. I don't know if that's something I can easily do. My Pokemon, when I got all of the diaper stage was already over by that point. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, bug Pokemon goop is interesting.
How so?
It's messy in the first stages because, well, they have... Most bug Pokemon do have dust. Fairy dust or any kind of dust. It gets everywhere.
She chuckles.
And mine glitters, so...
It's a beautiful Pokemon, I have to say. Cutie flies are, I would say, one of the prettiest bug Pokemon.
I think so too.
It's going to be at that point that the bell's going to ring, and Nevi's going to say, "Well, nice meeting you, Charlie.
It was nice meeting you too.
Hopefully I'll get to see you again and maybe partake in some of your other goodies."
I hope so.
She gives you a warm smile as you guys part ways. And then last but not least, Annie, you are going to be sitting across from a cute woman with glasses. This is Dr. Alicia Pearl. She sits across from you, and she's a little mousy, but you know, she's cute. And she greets you with a very soft voice, and she says, "Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Alicia."
Hi, I'm Anne. Good to meet you. And she kind of shakes her hand.
She shakes her hand. "Pleased to meet you, Anne. So, have you been meeting a lot of interesting people today?"
I've met a lot of interesting people today, yeah. It's been very entertaining, to say the least.
Who would you say was probably the most interesting person you've met so far?
There was this one. His name was Charlie, I think.
Okay.
He was one of the bakers.
Oh, the ones who helped cater today? Oh, that's great. She says. She turns, and meanwhile, as she turns, the couple, or not the couple, but the two people seated next to you, one of them seems to be really nervous, and every time he's nervous, he just starts picking his nose a bit. Alicia tries to not notice that and turns back to you, and she says, "So what do you do for a living?"
I'm a tattoo artist, actually, and she
Did
kinda
you do those yourself? She says as she points to the ones in your neck.
Not these ones, but I've done some on other areas. I don't really like to tattoo myself. It gets a little tricky.
I would think. I didn't think that I would think that'd be a lot harder to do.
Mm-hmm.
Tattoos, I admit, they probably aren't really my thing for me personally, but they look beautiful in other people. I just don't think I'd be able to, I don't know, what's the word? I don't think I'd be able to...
Stand the pain?
No, it's not that. I just don't think that I would be able to, I guess, rock a tattoo as well as most people. I guess if I got something, it would have to be something that was very subtle or small, and something that's very easily, easy to hide, I guess.
Yeah, not everyone's willing to rock a big flower on their neck. I can see that.
She laughs a little bit. Well, let me tell you a little bit myself. I actually am a psychologist. Don't let that intimidate you. And it's interesting. I actually am a psychologist who currently is working at a correctional facility. So I work with a lot of girls who are trying to rehabilitate themselves. And my job is to try to help them, I guess, help them come to terms with whatever issues they have that might have led them into the correctional facility, so that they can go back out and be progressive and successful members of society.
That sounds like a very honorable vocation. And as my Dr. Pearl sort of explains about the whole helping them become good, productive members of society, her face kind of subtly shrinks just a teeny bit, I'm not sure if she notices, but
She probably would. Yeah.
and she kind of sort of also looks down at her Pokemon and kind of brings him up to her lap and kind of pats his head a little bit.
Okay. She sort of notices it, and she then asks and says, "Hopefully none of that made you uncomfortable. We can talk about something else."
Oh, no, it's fine. It's just I don't want to get too heavy. Do you have
Of
any
course.
Pokemon for yourself?
Oh, I do, actually. Would you like to see her?
Sure.
She's going to reach into her purse and she'll pull out a Pokeball. And she will show you this Pokemon. Out will pop a surprise, Clamperl. And the Clamperl will open up and it's got, a cute little pearl inside with a face, and the face, yawns and blinks a little bit, just the eyes of the light, and then looks up at you and smiles. Clamperl.
She kind of looks down at the little Vampirl and says, "Oh, hello.
This is
How are
Minerva. Minerva. This is Anne. The Clamperl, clamps down a little bit as if to say hello.
She looks up at Alicia and says, "Oh, she's adorable."
Thank you, she said. She's been a really great assistant to me during some of my sessions. Sometimes people feel more comfortable when they're talking towards a Pokemon as opposed to talking towards me. So sometimes that helps.
Oh, I can see how that would be. I've had times when I've liked more Pokemon more than people.
Well, Minerva's a very good listener. I call her my inspiration, my pearls of wisdom. It's a little corny or cheesy now that I think about it.
I feel that way about my little mountain man here, and she kind of scratches Cole's ears a little bit.
What is your Pokemon's name?
His name's Cole. He's my little tough guy.
He starts flexing again. And Dr. Alicia says, "Oh my, Cole, you are very impressive. It's a pleasure to meet you." Cole beams. He puffs up his pecs out, he tries to do the thing where he can move the pecs left and right, and he nudges it a little bit. His man boobs. And Dr. Pearl can't help but chuckle and laugh at that. Well, Anne, you definitely seem like you've got quite a nice life for yourself.
Yeah, it's taken a bit, but I've done it.
Well, good. I mean, it sounds like you're working in a career that you love. It sounds like that you've got a Pokemon that clearly adores you, and that says a lot. You can learn a lot about a person based on what their Pokemon seems to think of them or how they interact with them. And hopefully things at home are okay too.
Yeah. My home, yeah.
Well, that's good.
She kind of stiffens up a little bit, and she kind of looks down and kind of clenches her fists just a teeny bit.
Okay. And Dr. Pearl kind of notices that, and she's about to say something, but then the bell rings, and then she gives you another polite, warm smile and holds out her hand again and says, "Anne, it was a pleasure meeting you."
It was a pleasure to meet you. And she shakes her hand.
And she says, "I hope that you have a great rest of your evening, and hopefully you made a lot of nice friends."
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay. All right. So the friend dating thing ends. Just out of curiosity, as at this point, people can anonymously request to offer to exchange their contact information with another person, and of course, if the other person agrees, then you both will be given each other's contact information. So I'm just curious if anyone decided that they were interested in exchanging information with someone, PCs or NPCs. Just out of curiosity.
Annie would definitely want to get the information for Charlie, of course.
Okay.
And also Alicia.
Alicia is going to accept, so we can say that you now can contact Dr. Pearl. You have her contact information.
Okay.
Charlie, you'll see that Annie is interested in exchanging information with you. Will you accept?
Yes.
All right. You both have each other's contact information. Charlie, why don't we go with you next? Was there anyone that you were interested in exchanging information with?
Nevi and Moxie.
Nevi will accept. How about you, Moxie? Will you accept or not accept?
Yeah, I'll accept.
You'll accept? Okay. Cool.
For a second, he's not entirely sure if he's gonna contact Steven, but he thought about how Bug seemed to kind of like being around Theta, so he decides to get his contact information as well.
Okay. Steven, you'll know that Charlie will be interested in exchanging information. Will you accept?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Moxie, is there anyone else that you would be interested in exchanging information with?
Charlie's sister as well.
Okay. Charlie's sister's Carolyn. Might be interesting to know one of the Rangers, yes. All right, yes, she will accept. And Steven, is there anyone else in particular that you might be interested in exchanging contact information?
Only one whose information someone already apparently changed.
Who is that?
Well, Theta already chose rousing, so...
So you're just going to get
Steven
it
has
Theta.
to.
All right. So
Yep.
You and Madison, she will definitely accept. All right. That is so cute. I'm sorry, that's how cute that is. Going into this campaign, I didn't think about that, and I was like, Madison and Steven and Theta and Rotom, I was like, that makes so much sense. Anyway. So, cool. So you guys are going to go your separate ways again, and hopefully you guys had a good enough time, and then you're going to go to sleep. I would like for everybody now to roll a focus. We're going to start with the lowest focus.
Oh.
And you are currently on trial right now. You are on trial, there's a jury, there's a judge, and you see in the congregation of the trial your mother and father, and they are looking at you with deep contempt. And you are on trial because your Pokemon Cole is being accused of stealing something. Okay? Cole is being accused of stealing something from Prism Labs. And at the moment, the jury is now giving their sentence. You are sort of representing Cole, because you personally didn't do anything wrong, but your Pokemon did. And the jury is basically giving their sentence. And the decision is that they find Cole guilty. And the punishment is going to be euthanization. How do you react?
she Cole is right next to her, right?
Yeah,
Or is he-
and Cole, while he's listening to this, he doesn't seem to understand what they mean. Like he understands that he's being found guilty, which looks like a shock, and he's looking at you and looking at them and looking at you, and then they use the word euthanization, and he doesn't seem to understand what that means.
And as soon as she hears the word euthanization, she's just going to start to clutch Cole and just start bawling her eyes out and just say, no, 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 no. And she sort of goes into like a fetal position and kind of clutches her hair. And she just kind of sits there just being like, no, 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 no.
While this is happening, several of the Officer Jennies will come over to Cole to take him away. Will you just let them take them away? What do you do?